Hey y'all, I'm back a second time this week because it is just weighing so heavily on me, Job's response to his suffering. And I just wanted to encourage y'all real quick. I ain't gonna be before you long. Ain't that what the preacher say? I ain't gonna be before you long. But I really won't. If you know the story of Job, you know that Job was tested beyond what I can honestly imagine. And Job was super wealthy. Job honored God. Job made sure he gave his offerings and his sacrifices. He made sure that he even consecrated his kids. He was like, I don't know what these kids out here doing. So let me just make sure in case they sin, let me consecrate them, right? And then we know that God allows Satan to test Job. The first go round, God was like, you can touch everything except his body. So Job loses his livestock. He loses his servants. He loses even his children. And here's what happens. I'm just going to read it. I'm reading from Amplified. This is the first chapter of Job. I'm going to read verses 20 through 21. It says, Then Job got up and tore his robe and shaved his head in mourning for his children, or in mourning for the children, and he fell to the ground and worshiped God. He said, Naked without possessions, I came into this world from my mother's womb, and naked I will return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I think there are two major things that we can learn from Job right here. Okay, this part right here, I've been like just meditating on this part. It's been coming back to mind over and over and over again. It's one when Job kept getting inundated with bad news after bad news after bad news. All these messengers coming with, okay, this is gone, this is gone. Now your children are gone. Job grieved. Job got up, tore his robe, shaved his head in mourning. He grieved, he emoted. But you know what I love is that even in his grief, even though that was heavy, even though he was in mourning, he fell to the ground and he worshiped God. Hey, I came in here with nothing. I'm going to leave with nothing. The Lord gave to me and the Lord takes away. But you know what? Blessed be the name of the Lord. That blessed be the name of the Lord is doing something for me. No matter what, blessed be the name of the Lord. Then we fast forward over in chapter 2. Because Job didn't curse God, instead he praised and worshiped God. Satan went back to God and was like, well, if you let me touch his body, surely he'll curse you. God said, okay, go ahead. God trusted Job so much that he knew he could trust him to endure that suffering. And that's a topic for another day, what it looks like for God to trust you. Okay. And so Job gets these, it describes them as loathsome boils and agonizingly painful sores from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. Can you imagine? I mean, we suffer sickness, but my goodness, he is in so much distress that he is using broken pottery to pick at the boils on his skin. His wife says to him, like, baby, this is a lot. You just need to go ahead and curse God and die. And you know what Job says? Job says this. This is chapter 2, verse 10. He says, Shall we indeed accept only good from God and not also accept adversity and disaster? Let's put that and apply that to our own lives. Okay, things were going great. Now they're not going great. But we know it rains on the just as well as the unjust. God gives and God takes away. Job didn't curse God even then. Now, Job, the book of Job is filled with his lamenting, right? And he wasn't privy to the information of the heavenly meeting that took place in the first couple of chapters. So his perspective was a little off, but he didn't curse God. God never accused him of sinning. But Job lamented, he grieved, he was sorrowful, right? But he worshiped God anyway. He blessed God's name anyway. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Can we always say that in our circumstances? Right? Can we always say that we keep the right perspective and we bless God anyway, even though we might be in a tough season? right? I can't say that I always have. I think I've probably gotten there in the last few months. Like, no matter how this situation turns out, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord. It is what it is. And I think sometimes we can do a disservice to believers because there is this toughen up. What you crying for? You got the victory. Stand up. Let's go. Decree and declare. Decree and declare God's word. Worship God. And there's nothing wrong with all those things because I do all those things. But I think there is room for lamenting. The Bible is filled with people who lament. There's a whole book called Lamentations. The Bible is filled with folks who grieve. And I think we just have to put grief in its proper perspective. You can emote, you can grieve, you can weep, you can do all the things, but you have to remember that you must worship God in the midst of that. And I think the greatest example is Jesus. Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane feeling the weight and the pressure of what he was going to have to do at the cross, right? He even said, hey, Father, if it be your will, let this cup pass from me, right? Because what he had to do was heavy. I can't, in my finite understanding, I don't know what it's like to feel the weight and the pressure of bearing the sins of all of humanity from the beginning of time to the end of time. I'm thinking my situation right now is rough. Baby, it ain't nothing compared to what Jesus had to go through. And Jesus said, nevertheless, now that nevertheless is it's gonna stir up. It's gonna bubble up. I'm feeling a little quickening. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. Right? Job, naked I came into this world, naked I'ma leave. God gives and God takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord. May our response always be, blessed be the name of the Lord. Right? Now, the truth is, the more you worship, probably the less you might feel that grief, the less you are focused on your current situation or what's in front of you. But there is room for you to do both. There is room for you to lament and worship God. God isn't asking you to ignore your emotions. He's asking you to put them in the proper perspective. So worship him. I just wanted to encourage y'all with that because it's been encouraging me. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I will see y'all in the next video.